Hi, I'm Frances, and welcome to my channel. I wanted to make a video about Shirley Jackson's We Have Always Lived in the Castle. I have fallen in love with Miss Shirley Jackson. I have never read her before, and I picked up this book. I think I picked this book up about 6 months ago, and I started to read the first chapter, and as anyone who's read this book knows, it starts off pretty dark, and I have to be in the mood for dark. And I said to myself, "Oh gosh, uh, it's too dark for me." By the way, my washer's going. I'm sorry about that. I have to make this video quickly before my house fills up with people. Anyway, but it was too dark, and I put it down because I was like, I don't know if I want to read something, this dark. But I picked it back up, and when I picked it back up, I was just so much in love with this book, and it reminded me of when I was a child and read V.C. Andrews. And V.C. Andrews is so dark and delicious, and in fact, I almost wonder if V.C. Andrews did not get her inspiration from Shirley Jackson. And also, I have little props here to show. I immediately went to my local Barnes & Noble where they sell paper flowers. I don't know why, but this book just made me feel like I wanted to fill my home with paper flowers and live in a castle and just put flowers and beautiful things in my home, around my home, on the grounds. It made me think of little crystals, and so I have my little props here today. Okay, so I'll talk real quick about the book. There may be some spoilers. I'm trying not to give any, but I'm sure you'll get some. So don't watch if you have not read the book yet. Okay, so Mara Cat and her sister Constance live in a big, beautiful house with their uncle Julian. And they're very reclusive. Mara Cat goes out twice a week to get library books and food. And when she goes into town, some people are okay, nice to her, superficially sort of nice to her, but she's mostly met with hostility because someone in their household poisoned the rest of the family by putting arsenic in the sugar bowl. And they all, the mother, the father, the brother, and the aunt died a painful death of arsenic poisoning. And Uncle Julian was also supposed to die, but he survived. And he's older, and he's wacky, and I'm not sure if he I'm not sure if he maybe has dementia or if the arsenic poisoning caused him to be sort of batty. He's keeping notes about the day of the incident, and he can't really remember if it happened or didn't happen. He's going to write a book about it. And, it was only supposed to end up, I think, being Mara Cat and Constance left after the poisoning. But Uncle Julian survived, and even though Mara Cat is not crazy about him, she's learning to sort of love him and to be tolerant of him, and she's trying to go out of her way to sort of be nice to him, or nicer to him. Anyway, without giving a whole synopsis of the book, the main parts of this book, which I understand, and I know so many people will understand, is that, they had been out in the world, and then they had gone in. And, every once in a while, like, Constance sort of wants to dip her toe back into the waters and go back out into the world. And Mara Cat doesn't want to, and doesn't want Constance to. And there are still some people, that are nice and come to visit and have tea and try to encourage them to get back into society and to make friends with their neighbors and their community. And, anyway, at the end of the book, there's a fire, and the townspeople, the firemen, they come and they put the fire out. And how helpful, how nice, how wonderful. But then, and this is a spoiler, and then after putting the fire out, because the firemen have to, because they're firemen, they turn and just wreck the house, just, kick in windows, break things, just destroy everything that they can. And of course, you can understand this if you've ever been out in the world and been nice to people, been friendly to people, and then had people betray you, all of these sorts of things. I was just, as I'm reading this, I'm like, I understand this. I get this. But then on the flip side, they can be helpful. They can be lovely, which that's just human. That's just the human experience. You have good, you have bad. But anyway, so what was so brilliant about this book was that then the townspeople showed after putting out the fire, and I won't even talk about Cousin Charles, who was the interloper who came in with bad intentions and only wanting the money, and because they had money in a safe. But anyway, at the end of the book, they go back in and they just bolt up the house and they lock the door and they just decide they don't want anything to do with these people, even the ones that were nice to them. Like, my door's locked, go away. And but then showing the goodness of human nature, the townspeople begin to leave presents and food at their door and notes of apology, saying, I broke your table, I'm sorry, I vandalized your step, please take this. So it's just beautiful the way that it wraps up, showing, how the world really is. But the sisters are not having it, and they're locked inside. Thank you very much. Okay, so anyway, and by the way, this cover is so beautiful. And I was so inspired by this that I have started a painting of Maricat and Constance. Look at this amazing cover and the townspeople. It's just, it's been a long time since I have discovered a writer that I am just in love with, besides Patricia Highsmith, that I made another video about. But oh my goodness, I had never read The Lottery. A lot of people have read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. I have never read that, but after this, I wish that I had done a book review right when I finished, because I finished this about a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, I immediately went to my bookstore, got everything that I could find by Miss Shirley Jackson, and now I am reading The Bird's Nest, and I'll do a review for this too, because my channel's not really about book reviews, but when I get excited about something, I get excited about it, and I'm super excited about Shirley Jackson. This book also, I started to read. It started to seem a little devilly, and I don't do devil, so I put it down. I was like, oh God, no, it's getting devilly. But I picked it back up, and I'm glad I did, because it turns out it's not devilly. It's just, this lady is a master of horror, and that's not even my genre, but I usually don't like horror. I can't say that word. I usually don't like horror. I do read Stephen King sometimes, but quite frankly, he doesn't scare me. But this lady scares me, and she's a master. So I'm reading this. I'm almost done. I'll do a review on this book. And I got this book of her short stories. Like I said, never read The Lottery. I've never read these, but I am going to carry this in my purse. And whenever I'm in a waiting room, whenever I'm anywhere, I am reading this. And I have ordered 4 more books from Amazon, the ones that my bookstore did not have. And like I said, I was so inspired. I've started working on a painting. I think I'm gonna spend the weekend working on this painting. And yeah, it never in my life have I ever wanted so badly to be a little wood witch as when I read this. And I was like, yes, let me get my little crystals. Let me get my paper flowers. By the way, I have these like all in my bedroom now. I don't know why, they just remind me. I love this book. And like I said, when I was a kid, I loved V.C. Andrews. And she gave me the same feeling. It's just like when you're reading V.C. Andrews and you're a child, when you're just a little girl, I guess I was, and by the way, yes, This book reminded me when I was 9 years old in a Woolworth department store with my grandmother back in, let's see, I guess it'd have been like about 1980. I picked up My Sweet Adrena, and I had read books before, but My Sweet Adrena is the book that kickstarted my absolute love of books. And this book very much reminded me. I mean, they're different, totally different storyline, but the same situation. Tucked away in your house, outside world bad. Be safe inside. And then you got the villains in your own house. You got the villains, and I have lived this. I've had, as many people have. So you understand the book, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And we have always lived in the castle. It's okay. I give this like 100 stars. Thank you. Goodbye.